Today we're going to talk about cleaning a DSLR sensor. This is quite an old camera. It's what's called a Canon 350D or Digital Rebel XT, based on the American branded version. The reason why, even though this is quite an old camera, it's had the IR filter removed off the front, which makes it more sensitive to the hydrogen alpha spectrum. Yeah, so basically more red, and makes everything more sensitive because we've taken a filter out. So for astrophotography, that's a great outcome. So as you may recall, when we had this in the observatory, it had been just sitting on the bench with just the T adapter on it, wasn't covered, so it's quite messy and dusty and dirty, even on the inside. So we can see on the mirror, it's got a dirty mirror anyhow. We also have on the focusing area, sort of in here, is a bit dirty, but that's not going to affect the image quality. All it just means is when you're looking through the viewfinder, it's going to be kind of annoying to do that. But we want to get rid of anything loose that's floating around there anyhow. But the main problem is that we're going to have dust and debris on the sensor, which is behind this mirror. So what we're going to do is get the mirror to flip up, and we're going to clean it. So what we're going to use is these, which is just I got these off eBay. They are the right size. The ends of them here are the right size for an APS-C sensor, which is what this camera is. And what we're going to do is just clean the sensor with this. There's a cleaning solution that they suggest to use. I'm not all that fussed. I'm going to use the cleaning solution that we used with the telescope. So it's just primarily isopropyl alcohol, which I could also just actually use isopropyl alcohol, but we'll just see how we go. So the first things first, I'm going to use this blower to just blow everything out. Now I'm going to flip the camera facing down, just so anything that I blow out of it will just fall out. I can see there's quite a bit of stuff in there, but I don't know what's going to literally come out or not. So we will just flick it over. Can't really tell if that's made too much difference. So I'm going to turn on the camera. You want to make sure that the camera is, I'm running it off an AC pack, or you want to run it off a full battery when you're doing this. Okay, so we're going to go into the menus. I'm going to have to do this in a way I can see. Across to the maintenance menu, down to maintenance menu, and then sensor cleaning, where you want to go into this. And so if I push this, then the camera, the mirror will flip up. So let's just try Try and get an angle where that's a bit more obvious. Right, so now we can see the sensor. So you can even see that there's some stuff on the sensor. Now over on that, right on that edge where we can see that sort of purplish bit fringe on the corner, there is a little dot. I'm sure that that was already there as part of what was when the sensor was originally pulled, when the IR cover was originally removed. So I think that was already in the, try and get a reflection there, it was already in there, so we're not going to be too desperate to try and get that out. But there is a lot of stuff on there. So I'm just looking everywhere else, it all seems fairly good everywhere else. I'm going to just now, same deal again, just with the, I can see here there's a little bit of fluff. I'm just going to use the blower just to blow from behind here now. Okay. So let's have a look at this now. The way they describe these, because these have been vacuum sealed and in a clean room, and so they are one use only gizmos, right? So it's a microfiber thing. So what we're going to be doing is going on there, swiping one way, coming back and swiping the other way. I'm going to just wet this literally with, just going to get a little bit of this solution, just going to wet it initially just on a cotton bud and just sort of dab it on here, just so can't really see what's happening there yet. And you can just see it just soaked in there a little bit. You can probably see, it's a bit hard to see to be honest, but a drop has gone on there and kind of wet the edge of it. Yeah, a little bit too much light. Anyway, so I'm just going to go in there. Go one way. And go the other. I think it's really hard to tell, but we can see that there was on there before a little bit of a mark in the middle, which is gone now. All right. So hopefully that's done the job. And probably impossible for you to see on the video, but there is the tiniest little dirt spot, I guess on the bottom edge of the frame. You can probably just see there, just there. Nothing on the other side, so I'm just going to give one last shot with this, just so it goes to the other edge. Okay, so I think that's probably sorted. All right. This is an image that I took before we cleaned the sensor. So this was just a shot taken of, admittedly, a very gloomy Melbourne sky. So you can see there's a number of little black spots and a number of other anomalies around the screen. We'll see how we go cleaning those. This is a photo after the first attempt at cleaning it. You can see that some of the spots are still in the same place. The color is a little bit different because I was shooting against the wall because it was getting dark outside. But it did clean up a number of the other areas around the edges. In the end, we're talking about trying to get rid of as many obvious things that are stuck or visible on the sensor as we can. So wanted to try again and clean another time. We cleaned it again with another cleaning swab. Didn't really make that much extra difference. There's, I think, just the tiniest bit of difference in between the first cleaning and the second. I don't think that's going to be any easier capability of trying to pull any more off the sensor. I didn't think there was anything left on the sensor after this second clean. So this stuff is either stuck fairly fast or I would need to get it professionally cleaned. I don't think that's really necessary though, because in the end what we can do is when we take flats during the imaging process, that's going to result in a lot of these anomalies being removed from the base image. So this will be in the image train the same no matter what, as long as I don't add any new dust. So taking flats before I do the images will remove all of these differences from those final images. So there'll be another video on using flats at a later point. So that's it. That's cleaning a DSLR.